Good morning, Packers fans. Aaron Negler here with your Packers Daily Chat, coming to you live on the Cheesehead TV social channels. It's Friday. It is Friday. The weekend stretches out in front of us. The Packers, who knows? Maybe they'll be dipping their toe back into the free agency waters at some point. But as of yesterday, they are down yet another wide receiver with Marquez Valdez-Scantling signing a 3-year deal with the Kansas City Chiefs. Wide receiver room is going to look a little different next year, no doubt about it. As you guys probably saw, I did make a video yesterday regarding some fans I saw that were freaking out about losing Devontae and then MVS. And as I said there, and I will say here, just breathe. A lot of ball game left in this offseason. It's very interesting to me to watch whatever they have planned or are going to do at wide receiver and how that might play into perhaps a slightly different approach on offense, but a long way to go in that regard. Good morning to everybody in the comments section. Good to see everybody. See Pogs, what's up, man? Dennis, stalwart, TKM, good to see you at your post. Oz is here. You skipping the coffee for me? I'm so flattered. Good to see everybody. Make sure I don't miss any super chats. Gotta go back up. Brandy's here. Good morning, Brandy. Good to see you. Hope you're well. Josh, thanks for the super chat. With our running back room as stacked as it is, why don't we see more wishbone formations? Is this something the NFL doesn't do? Yeah, McCarthy used to throw it out there every once in a while, but it's just not something that's been utilized a whole lot of in the modern game. But as a wrinkle, I don't hate it. I wish they'd get back to split backs. That was my jam. I actually asked Mike about that years ago, and he said something about the college game has gone to such one back spread stuff that it's kind of filtered up. But yeah, I mean, get your best players on the field, right? I'd be all for it. It's just not something that's done these days. Judy, thank you for the super chat. Happy Cheese Pizza Friday. Thank you very much. Yes, we'll be having our cheese pizza tonight, myself and the girls, although I believe Madeline's going out tonight. She's got a social life or something. They grow up and then they don't need you anymore. That's kind of how that works. But thank you. Looking forward to it. Good morning. Good morning. Soder's here. What's up? More pony package. See, Eric knows. There you go. What's so funny to me is that not every single time, but most times that they utilize, Jones and Dillon in the backfield together, it's almost always efficient and moves the football and is successful. Yet they kind of dip into it so infrequently. I really hope because of, changing personnel, maybe not, obviously not such a Devontae-centric offense. Hopefully we see a little bit more of that next year. Because, like I said, every time they kind of draw it up during the week and utilize it as part of the game plan, it works very, very well. Lazard is going to have a big year, Pee-wee. It's quite possible, especially given the way things are situated right now. Look, I don't think anybody's under any illusions that Allen Lazard is going to be all of a sudden some bona fide number one wide receiver. But you don't have to look much further than that game in New Orleans a couple years ago, that week 3 game, to see how productive he can be without Devontae in the offense. I mean, obviously there's the big play that everyone remembers where Rodgers is rolling out to his left and throws an insane ball. But that entire game, Lazard plays very, very well. And then, of course, what sucked is that he got hurt and he missed so much time afterwards. But, I mean, you don't have to look much further. We know we can do it. So I don't think it's going to be like that every week. I think they're going to diversify their attack. But certainly can't say that he's not going to be productive, because I think that is certainly the case. I really hope MVS was doing just a stadium tour in Kansas City. I don't think so. I think they tweeted out photos of him signing his deal, actually. Do I see the Packers going free agency after the draft? Callum, good question. I think they're going to keep all their options open. I do think there's a chance that they let kind of it's not silly season anymore as far as the free agency goes, but I do think they're going to kind of let the market settle a little bit, and maybe that means waiting until after the draft, and not just at wide receiver. I mean, kind of all the positions. But I think they'll continue to make calls and they'll continue to kind of poke around, so to speak. But after the draft, there are plenty of occasions in the past where teams will kind of let guys go or trim the fat, so to speak, because of they drafted a number of players at X position. So yeah, I think they'll always, like I always say, and like Brian said, it's a 365 day a year gig. right? They're always looking. So I think, yes, they'll certainly be on the lookout. And look, you can't, you know, they'd certainly hit gold last year when they got Devondre Campbell late in the free agency process, right? So, not saying that they're going to go find an all pro, but they're definitely going to be looking. There's no question. Always. Do I think there's any chance they trade for a wide receiver? I think there's a chance. And I think all the usual suspects have been talked about ad nauseum already. Um, I don't think it's going to be a blockbuster deal. I don't think it's going to be some premium position. That's why a premium pick. That's why I can't really see DK Metcalf happening, even though so many people online want it to happen. But yeah, I think there's a chance, especially because of the draft capital they have. I mean, 11 picks, depending on what pick is going to be asked for, what Brian would feel comfortable parting with. Yeah, there's definitely a chance, but a lot to play out there. Again, I'd be surprised if it was a premium pick. All fans can be brutal except Josh Neiman fans. Fair, Steven. Carl, thank you for the super chat. Good morning, Nags. I sort of hope Rodgers works with the new wide receiver group more than the 3 times in the offseason. I'm excited to see how he adjusts. Yeah, I mean, I know that's in the Spoon put that out there about the contract, but who knows? We haven't got any indication, anything from Aaron in regards to his offseason plans, participation, what have you. But yeah, I think he'll be there. I think for the very reason you're stating, I think there'll probably be new faces in new places, and he's going to want to get on the same page, so to speak. And look, before last year and well documented drama, etc., the man had been there every year for 16 years. Like I don't think he's going to suddenly just not show up. I mean, for the full part of it, I think it's a very different thing now as far as participation and what's required and the necessity of it and how useful they think it is, etc. On both sides, player and team. So I do think he'll miss some days, but I think he'll be there for much of it because of exactly what you're talking about. What else we got here, folks? Dustin, thanks for the super chat. No need to fret, Packers fans. We have Juwan Winfrey. Let's fucking go. I mean, hey, look, I like the kid a lot. I really saw a lot of promising stuff in camp last year. And we've talked about it before. I know his kind of one moment there last year in Arizona was very kind of up and down. But for his first NFL action, he's got his feet wet, so to speak. And now there should be maybe not a huge opportunity, but there should be an opportunity to make a little noise, turn some heads. And if he picks up where he left off last summer, I think he's got a shot. Again, I don't think he's going to come out and be some fantasy juggernaut or anything, but yeah, I think definitely has a chance. No doubt about it. He's got talent. I kick ass, man. What's up? Thanks for the super chat. Think Adams is mad Tyreek got highest paid wide receiver now? No. I don't think there's a mad bone in Devontae's body at the moment. I think he's living his dream. Absolutely. I mean, and that's what happens, right? You sign a deal, you're the highest paid, whatever. 5 minutes later, somebody else is. I mean, I remember Bakhtiari making fun of, was it Trent Williams who signed a deal, was literally $1 more just to say he was the highest paid. Yeah, I really don't think Devontae's stressing anything like that. Brandy, whatever. Packers will have a great defense. I'm good. I mean, we hope, right? Like, we certainly saw glimpses of it, but, they got to do the work, and it's no foregone conclusion. They got talent, all 3 levels, no doubt about it. Got to make sure it's working in concert, continuing to grow and develop and coalesce. And that's not an automatic. I'm sorry. I think I said this wasn't during happy hour, but I've been hurt too many times. I've been hurt too much in my life when it comes to the Packers defense to just get too excited about it. Remember Aaron saying we got a defense, and then we didn't have a defense. So I hope you're right. I really do. Looking more like a Dylan Wheel route this year. Yes, Jill, I put that up on Twitter last night. Few less wide receiver centric game plans, more emphasis on the running backs and the passing game. We're that close, baby. AJ Dillon wheel route for a touchdown. Let's do it. Right about the 22-yard line, send him up the left sideline. Touchdown like Dorsey Levens back in the day. I'm all about it. Ty Summers will calm my fears. Now, Brandy, now I know you're just like you started early or something. Soder, thanks for the super chat. As the rules have changed to favor the offense, is wide receiver not as important as it used to be so long as you have a guy that can spin it? See New England. I think there's some merit to that. And I think you've seen offenses evolve kind of with that idea. But I will say, it's funny. I've seen a lot of this, right? I mean, maybe rationalizing trading Devontae away and then losing MVS, etc. And I do think there's merit to the idea. However, you can't, dismiss or ignore what the Rams did last year, and they did it with a number of really good wide receivers, you know, um, or what Brady did 2 years ago in Tampa, again with a number of really talented wide receivers. So, and again, you guys know I always say there's more than one way to win, no question about it, and I do think you can be very effective. You do need talent, though. It's not like you can just roll some scrubs out there. But overall, I agree, Soder. But like, you can't completely dismiss the position, obviously. Dustin, thanks for the super chat. No more talk of having 6 to 7 wide receivers. We are going with 3. Hey, man, remember when they went with 5 tight ends? That was awesome. Marshall, thanks for the super chat. I see us headed towards a 49er-like defensive-minded, power run-centric team, yet with an MVP QB, unlike the 49ers. I'm here for it. Marshall, I would love that. I've been pining for it. I've been saying they should go that direction in like last 2 or 3 years. And maybe without Devontae, the offense becomes a little bit more run-centric, a little more power, button it up. And then, I remember Tony Romo talking about that on one of the broadcasts he did for the Packers. Was it like 2 years ago? Where he said, like, look, LaFleur is there for first and second down. Rodgers is there for third down. And it's like, I kind of like, to your point, like, I'd love it if they were a little bit more schemed up on those first couple downs, and then Rodgers is there to make third down happen. Like the running game, everyone thinks of it like, I'm always going on and on about running the football more on the live streams, on the watch parties and blah blah. And people like Soder knows he's a fellow Cretan. We get lambasted like, oh, it's so old fashioned, blah blah. It's not that. I don't want 3 yards in a cloud of dust, but it only helps your quarterback, your aging superstar quarterback. I'm not trying to take the ball out of his hands. I'm not saying he's not talented. I'm not saying he's not awesome, because he is all those things. But a running game, especially an effective running game, will only help him. It will. I mean, if Aaron Rodgers had the commit, and that, the Packers offense had the commitment to the running game and the execution of the running game that the 49ers have, are you kidding me? Aaron Rodgers would cook. It would be absurd. And I think they could. They could absolutely operate that way if they chose to, but when you've got Aaron Rodgers at quarterback, you're like a kid in the candy store. You want to throw it around the yard, and he wants to throw it around the yard. And so I don't think that's going to ever happen in Green Bay. But maybe there's a kind of a move toward it this year because of the roster makeup. I don't know. We'll see. I'd love it, though, man. I would absolutely love it. M, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat. I truly believe our D will win games. Happy weekend. Again, I hope you're right. I want to believe. I want to believe. I'm about it. I'm about that life. Big Cheese, thanks for the super chat. Morning, Nags. Everyone on my Packers friends say we have to take wide receiver with our first pick, but I keep telling them the minute you start reaching for needs instead of drafting best available, you can get into trouble. Your thoughts? I mean, theoretically, yes, 100% you're right. However, drafting for need is always kind of looked down on and belittled or dismissed or what have you. But essentially, yeah, you are drafting the best player available at a position of need more often than not. Not always, but more often than not. So it's like need does kind of wiggle its way in there. And you don't have to take my word for it. Go look at the Packers draft history and you see the success they've had at the wide receiver spot, both under Brian and under Ted, in later rounds. Especially day 2 for most of it. But Brian found MVS on day 3. So yeah, I mean, I know people are going to be fixated on the first round, and they are going to freak out if they don't take a wide receiver with one of those picks. But if there's a franchise that has shown they know what they're doing at wide receiver, it's the Green Bay Packers. So now we were talking drafting, some other positions, maybe not, but that that spot they had a good handle on it. Moises, thanks for the super chat. How will O-line play be like this year, in your opinion? How will O-line play be like? It really depends on what happens at right tackle, I think, and what the lineup is going to be. Still a little early to really know, but I mean, I tell you what, they got some insanely valuable experience last year with some of those young guys, whether it was Newman or Runyon. Runyon really showed that he can play, so I'm excited for him to get in there. I'd be a lot more excited if Elton Jenkins was going to be playing at the start of the season, but he undoubtedly will not be as he comes back from that injury. I think you get Bakhtiari back in there, you can really start cooking in the run game. So much is made of what a great pass protector he is for good reason because he's been awesome. But I really think they missed him in the running game last year, especially on some of the zone stuff, the stuff they tried to get outside because he's so good. He's so athletic and his feet are so good at getting in position and getting that edge. They really missed that last year. And that's not a knock on Yash or, anybody who played out there at left tackle, but I mean, he's so good. And it was not a steep drop off, but it was a significant drop off. And I think that will make a big, big difference across the board. So, yeah, I think the O-line will be very good if they can stay healthy. I am interested to see how they build their depth back up, especially at tackle. But yeah, I think Steno's still there. I think they're going to be lights out as usual. I have few worries about the offensive line. Carl, thanks for the super chat. I can't wait to see our D line cook this year. They got Kenny help, and they may get more in the draft. Oh, I hope so. I would love it. I mean, it's so great watching how happy Kenny is after the Reed pickup. I mean, he's clearly a happy guy. Dave, thanks for the super chat. This season will be determined by how they answer questions on the offensive line more than wide receiver. Yeah, I think tackle is the one spot, right? I mean, I think they're fine on the interior. I think if Bakhtiari is good to go, you're obviously set at left tackle. It's right tackle that's, kind of the mystery at the moment. And look, I keep saying, who do they play on Sunday? They got a long way to go as far as filling that need and depth. But I do think, yeah, that's one spot where you're like, what exactly was the plan there right now? Um, but yeah, long way to go there. Soder, what's up, man? Thanks for super chat. Take it out of his hand on 3rd and 2 because a small part of me dies every time he goes with the 20-yard sideline route. Run the damn ball. I don't mind passing on 3rd and 2. Nothing wrong with that. Now, if you're taking shots every time, then it gets a little frustrating. But man, it's the NFL. It's the year 2022 of our Lord. Time to pass the ball. That's just the modern game, right? Now, if it's 3rd and 1 or 3rd and inches, and I don't see a lot of A.J. Dillon, then I'm going to start throwing stuff. But, yeah, it's fine. Nick, is D-back 100%? Yes, in the sense of he is his ACL is clean, the break was clean, and he says it's 100% structurally sound and good to go. If you read the interview I did with him on Cheesehead TV, he talked about the fluid and having to drain it throughout the season. And the doctor, both McKenzie and a couple other doctors, saying he just needs rest and to stay off of it. I got to assume he'll be fine. We'll see come April when they start off-season program, but seems to be moving fine in the little videos I've seen online, and he obviously is out and about. I think he just went on his honeymoon. So we'll see. But, the word is yes, he should be good to go. What else we got here? Most hated. Thanks for the super chat. Wide receiver getting a lot of attention. What about tight end? What about tight end? I don't know what that voice was. I wouldn't be surprised if they took one on day 3, kind of bolster the position, because you got to think they got Tunyon back, obviously, but he's not most likely going to be ready at the start of the season. So I think you're rolling with Josiah, and you got Big Dog, who's probably, I think is pretty clearly sticking around. They had a deadline pass where, he was due a bonus and they paid it. So you got to think that indicates that he's sticking around. And then, who knows what happens with Daphne. And Davis last year, I mean, he looked pretty good for the little amount. I mean, especially late in the year, he got some run, bring him to camp, see how he does. So they've got some pieces there, but I think they'll continue to add, like I said, in the draft. Not a premium pick, I wouldn't suspect, but they'll probably look to bolster the position a little bit just because who knows the timetable on Tunyon. Although I know I did read from Huber, I think, put it out there that his Tunyon's camp thinks he should be ready by the start of camp. That's always like, I mean, I hope that's true, but we'll see. I would suspect he gets to camp and probably starts on PUP, but who knows? John, thanks for the super chat. Please draft. I can't say that word. That is all. Okay, I'll let them know. I will let them know. Shadid, the Minnesota Vikings are a joke. Now, see, you say that, and like I have to read it because the truth comes across your screen. You gotta do it. I would like to see more tight end Davis. Yeah, Jill, like I said, I thought he played well last year in limited opportunities. He had a couple really nice catches, and I remember, I think it was the Baltimore game where Rodgers found him on a third down, like down the seam. It was like, wow, like look who threw it over the middle. But yeah, no, I think you really liked what you saw from that kid in limited ops, but it's no guarantee. You got to do the work. We'll see how he progresses, hopefully, from year 1 to year 2. And yeah, I think, like I said, the guy got his feet wet, so to speak, with Rodgers. So hopefully that only continues to grow. All right, buddy, I'm going to have to get going. I can't thank you enough for hanging out, talking Packers each and every day, Monday through Friday, right here on the Cheesehead TV social channels. Please do me a huge favor. Hit like on this video, subscribe to the channel, and then tell your friends and tell your family. Cheesehead TV, we are devoted to Green Bay Packers fans worldwide. Thanks a lot, everybody. Have a great weekend. Go Pack Go.